name's Stefanie, and before I start my presentation today, I have to admit something to you. I'm actually a little bit nervous. And why is that? So there are two reasons for that. Because the last 1.5 years, I was more or less only presenting in front of my laptop, alone in my home office. And today I'm standing here again on stage with real people here in the public, so this feels kind of a bit unknown again. But at the same time, it's very good. So I'm very happy to be here and have the possibility to share with you a bit, my personal journey to the cloud. The second reason why I'm a bit nervous is, as we already heard, it's a Women in Tech conference, and me myself, I do not have a tech background, but still ended up working for a tech company, namely Swisscom in Switzerland. And yeah, this gives you already a hint what this presentation will be about in this session. So I will share with you my professional journey, and as we are at Swisscom currently at the transformation towards cloud, getting cloud native, I call this my personal journey to the cloud. So while I was preparing for this presentation, I made some reflections, what accompanied me along this way, what was important for me, what was my key takeaways on that, so my values. And I realized I could summarize this in three areas, so in three key values, and I decided to share this with you in the very beginning. And here I would like to get also an interaction with you. So I looked for 3 different pictures who could represent these values, and I would like to let you guess in the beginning. Maybe you can think of what this picture stands for, which values. So let's start with the first one. So this cute little boy with the heart in the picture. So do you have any idea what this could stand for? Great, very good. That's very good. It's curiosity, and what I did not say, it's 2 words, so it's also passion. So the heart stays for passion. The next one is quite an easy one. Maybe the famous head from university. Yeah, yes, lifelong learning. Very good. We have very good girls here in front. And then I have a third one for you. So here I collected this group of nice people building the circle. So this stands, again? Yeah. So it stands for contribution to a community. And so having shared already this, like the key takeaways in the very beginning of the presentation, so I hope you would not run away right now, but and on the contrary, I made you hopefully a bit curious so that you would keep listening now for the session. So where does a professional journey start? Usually with education. So what you see here is a picture of the University from Vienna. So you heard already, I'm originally from Austria. So I was born and raised in Vienna. And when I was finishing with school, I did not really know what I wanted to study. So I went through the different possibilities, and then I saw law and thought, well, maybe that's not a bad idea. It's never a mistake, so let's try that. And I started there, and during the studies, I really got into the topic. So I was really interested in the way how they worked. So I really liked that. And when I finished my master degree, I thought, well, continuing would be also an option, and I decided to do a doctoral thesis, so going to a PhD program. And for that, you need to choose also here a topic what to write about. And then I have another picture from you, because this worked out so well, to let you guess what was my topic I was writing about. So this arrow here, so this is an easy one. Huh? So this arrow gives you a little hint. Yes, it's cable cars. So I wrote about the approval process for cable cars from a law perspective in Austria. And when I chose for that, a lot of people came to me and told me, Stefanie, I mean, what's that topic? I mean, how could that help you in a career? Where would that lead you? And I said, To be honest, I have no clue. I don't know. I just know that I'm really curious about that topic. So there was at that time a new regulation from the European Union coming out of that. I knew I'm passionate about mountains. I love skiing. I love hiking in the mountains, and I thought this should be already enough to work on that. And I tell you something, passion was really very much needed for such a thesis, because for me this was it was a hard time. So I would really this stressed me out. I was also working already back then. So several times I thought I would never finish. But in the end, I somehow managed to make out of that a lot of information, make it to something publishable. So it ended up in being a book. You still see my old last name here on it. But why I'm talking about that is because when I was looking back, I realized that it's not so much the content which was important for that. It was more, so what I learned here. So it was more leading a project. It was actually my first little project, and having a certain organization around and structure these lots of informations and bring this together in the right order, and then have a result like this. And here I can maybe do already the first link to the IT world, because we heard also in the speech before, I mean, this is an environment which changes constantly. So what you learn today will maybe already outdated tomorrow. So you constantly need to adapt. But if you know the systematic and a framework and a structure behind, then you will be able to adapt. So I think this is very important. So I told you already I was working already at that time. So I was working for the University of Economics and Business, also in Vienna, in a big construction project. You can see this here. On the rendering, they were constructing a campus, and I was there involved mainly in the or dealing with construction contracts and requests for proposals and things like that. And when this campus was finally opened in 2013, shortly afterwards, my partner back then came to me and told me, "Darling, I have great news. I have a new job opportunity." And I said, "Well, that's great, congratulations. So tell me more about it. What is it? Where is it?" And he told me it's in Neuchâtel. And I said, "Where?" And it's Neuchâtel. It's Switzerland. It's in the western part of Switzerland. And I said, "Oh, okay." And as you can hear, maybe also from the tone already, so I was not very happy about that, because I loved Vienna. I still do. My family were there, my friends were there, so I really felt comfortable and maybe a bit in my comfort zone, but I really did not really want to leave. But then, curiosity again took over, and I thought, what is if there is something exciting waiting for me? Maybe something new, maybe new opportunities. So in the end, we just said, "Okay, yes, we'll go." So, this is how I came to Switzerland, to the western part, to this nice city called Neuchâtel, where all the people speak French. So again, something new, and in a really nice environment. So it's really a beautiful place. So there is a lake, there is mountains, like everywhere in Switzerland. There is a very nice environment, flowers everywhere. But I found myself alone. So, and I realized, and now I'm coming back to the third attribute I showed you on the very first slide, this contribution thing. I realized that I needed to contribute to this if I want to be part of that community. So I knew I wanted to find a job, I wanted to make friends, I want to integrate, but then, as I said, I need to contribute. So I started to being very active. And looking around, and if you do that, you see there are a lot of possibilities, a lot of forums, platforms, groups you can participate. So I was, for example, in a platform where there were people and also a lot of women who exchanged about their professional life, how they changed from one profession to another, how they rearranged their lives. I was in a group who helped women who just immigrated to Switzerland to improve their language skills. So French and German. I found an expat community, so there are really a lot of things when you start looking around. And during this process and all these talks I had, I got to know Swisscom. And so I was looking for that. Does this work? Yeah. So I saw that they also always have job offerings. So I screened that a bit, and then I found an application for a position called purchasing manager. And so I was from the tasks listed there. I was a bit familiar with the contract part. I was familiar with the word request for proposal. Language was okay, but the rest, and this was the main part of that list, I had no clue, because there were a lot of IT words, and this said nothing to me. And in the beginning I thought, oh my God, that could be difficult. But here, and most probably you know that word, that saying, that women always or tend to only apply for a job application if they fulfill 100% of the requirements which are listed there. And here I really can only encourage you and really emphasize on that. In that case, think like a man. If you see some things you fulfill, you're already the best. And just try out. And then, because I thought, well, I have nothing to lose. I just can get a no for an answer. So I did, and I'm a good example because I got the job in the end. And this is how I entered in this world of IT and tech at a company with a really long history and some impressive numbers. So you see here on the top the evolution of our logo from Swisscom. So it actually, this I need to look up. It exists already since 1849, so quite a time. Back then, providing post services, and then constantly developing into this telecommunication and IT company. So the numbers here, I won't read that to you. You can read that yourself. But these are quite impressive numbers. So we are the market leader in Swisscom for in Switzerland for telecommunication and IT services. So there was a whole new world waiting for me, literally. So as I told you, I had really I knew of course what a laptop was and my phone, but the rest I did not really have a clue. So, but I was very ambitious, so I came to that new company and I really wanted to learn, so I was looking for someone who could help me. And I was lucky to find a colleague. He was working in the IT department back then, and he accepted to teach me. So we agreed on having sessions together each week, 1 hour. So we sat together and we called them Stefanie Learns IT sessions. So we started really from scratch, of course, at a certain level. So there I got to know a bit of coding, so with all these zeros and ones, and what is it really, the internet, how does this work, and what is a network, how does this work together, wireline and wireless, and what is the cloud and server and all this stuff. So there was really a lot for me to learn. And what I also learned is that a company with such a history, really transforming itself in this IT world needs a lot of change. So it needs change in the mindset, it needs change in the way we're working, what products we are delivering, and how we approach things. Maybe as an example, who of you is still writing an SMS? Maybe not so much, as long as WhatsApp and all these services are online. Or who of you has a fixed net at home? Maybe no one. So in the past, these were services where Swisscom earned good money with it, and this is now just disappearing and not there anymore. So here we need to transform. We come from like a local market really to a global market. So our competitors now are acting globally, but as I already said, market leader in these fields, we are really in a good position to face all these challenges who are on the way. And like always, if there are challenges, of course, that means there are also opportunities, and huge opportunities and possibilities. Because, I mean, digitalization is everywhere. You need a network for almost everything you need. I mean, this customization of network has doubled, tripled over the last years. So here we really can find at Swisscom good answers for all these needs. And we are also heavily investing in innovation. So just as an example, I think one of the first companies who enrolled 5G in the whole country in Switzerland. So I think this is quite unique. And then here also you see the fields of where we are investing a lot. So you find everything like IT, AI, network, and digitalization in general. And of course, always with the goal of delivering the best experience to our customers. And the next transformation is actually just around the corner, or already started. It's the cloud native transformation of Swisscom. So just earlier this year, we announced our partnership with AWS, as AWS our public cloud provider. So this is the first time a telecommunication company and a hyperscaler collaborate in this way. And again, here there lie really a lot of possibilities and opportunities. So this will help us increasing our IT agility in an immense way. Also, when we are talking about operational excellence, so get more efficient in our operation, this will help us a lot, and also because of in our going to market strategy. So, and maybe if you can already feel or sense that out of the speech. So I'm really passionate about all these things, and I'm really believing that there are in all these opportunities that lie within this transformation. And so I was lucky. So I got the opportunity to also broaden my scope and change from the purchasing department to the IT department directly. So the department which is responsible for development and operations of our software and applications. So we are applying the DevOps principle, and be part of the leadership team who is driving Swisscom in this transformation. And here I still have the slide with our CIO and CTIO on top, because he's quite also impressive and young man, and in a way, because of his looks and he represents a bit what we need, because this one may be a bit outdated for all the change I was talking about. So the old mindset and how to approach things, maybe this one with this gray-haired man with a tie would maybe not fit. But what we need is more something like this picture represents. So also women like you who are ambitious, who really want to transform constantly and be with us on this journey to shape a bit the future business. This is what we need. People who think differently, and people who really use all these technologies I was talking about in their daily business, and were maybe also already raised with them. So it's really not only, I mean, I talked a lot about technologies and tools and ways of collaboration, but in the end, it's people who make the difference. It's the people who drive the change. So we are really focusing, and at Swisscom we really recognize this. And I'm also in this transformation group. I'm focusing very much on sourcing. So I think this is the next one already. Yes. So we are not only looking for these talents I was talking about only in Switzerland, but we broadened the scope to also Europe and even globally, and for that we established 2 DevOps centers already. One being in Rotterdam, and the other one, as you already heard, here in Riga. and I'm super honored that I had the possibility to support here in the establishment of this DevOps Center together with our super local leadership team. So we have Marta and Elena also here in the audience, and Santa, and together we build up this DevOps Centers from scratch, and this month we are celebrating our first anniversary. So really October last year, we founded the company, and now we are 1 year on this way. And here I pasted some pictures of our opening event, which just happened earlier this September. So it was a bit delayed because of the Corona pandemic, unfortunately. But this was really a great opportunity to also show that we already grew a kind of nice community. And I would really like to encourage you to, if you're interested in, we are always happy to welcome you also in our offices. So we are, at the moment, we are at Seat Tower, so not far away from here. So just approach us. We would really be happy to welcome you, show you around there, and then discuss even more the topics we are working on, and deep dive on all these collaboration forms and focus areas and transformation topics. Of course, we are also we are still here the whole afternoon, so you can also approach us here directly and talk with us. Maybe I think also now there will be a possibility for some questions. But I will have one more slide for you. And maybe you remember in the beginning of this speech, of this talk, I talked to you about my doctoral thesis and this topic I was writing about, this cable car thing, where I did not know where this would come across to me, or maybe never again. So let me show you something. So this was an ad we were using in our marketing campaign at the very beginning when announcing that Swisscom is opening an office in Riga. So what we tried here was combining the characteristics of the two countries in one. So the cable cars representing Switzerland, and the old town of Riga, of course, representing Latvia. So what I want to tell you with that is that you never know when finally topics match or come across each other, or when you would need something you had really learned in the past. But I think as long as you stay curious, you are passionate, you are willing to learn and to contribute to a community, I think you are very well prepared for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefanie. Do we have any questions from the crowd? Hands. It's really hard to see from here. I have a question, actually. You mentioned a lot about your insights and about your journey, but for someone who maybe this is their first event in tech, they haven't really known the ecosystem or the possibilities or anything like that, would you have any suggestions or tips what you can do on the sidelines, maybe what to look for, what to research, what to read, how to just get a sense of, is this for me or not?
Yeah, I mean, in these days of internet, of course, there are a lot of possibilities. So personal, I mean, there is a lot of YouTube, of course, you can watch. If you enter all these buzzwords, then you will find a lot. But personally, so what helped me always, and I told you that, so finding people who are working already there and exchange with them and get their personal stories, and out of that maybe then build your own story. So for me, the personal relationship was also very, very much needed, and this is what we really try to do also here at this DevOps Center context. So I spoke a lot of this community approach. So what we are doing, being in Switzerland with Swisscom and having these two centers, so we are not doing an outsourcing. It's the other way around. We're doing an insourcing. So we really want to collaborate together and have this personal relationship, because I think always we can learn from each other, and I think that is the best way how to do it.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Well, thank you, Stephanie. And if you have any questions, feel free to still catch you here today in the conference or anyone else from the ecosystem. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause.